Sam, 4-1 win here over Ebbsfleet. Just how satisfied are you with what you saw out there today?
Delighted, especially with the performance. First half was the best we played. I've said all the time we need to improve, we need to get better. I've said we've been playing in second and third gear this year. For the first half today, we were outstanding.
Were you surprised with just how explosive you were, and particularly that opening 20 minutes, or did you set out to immediately go out on the front foot?
No, that was the game plan, to come out on the front foot, to impose ourselves. We had a few little key bits of play we wanted to try and impose into our play today. And you know, the front three for the first half were outstanding. They were a real handful. They would have given anyone a real handful today, and I think all three of them scored as well, which is a perfect half.
Chris Holroyd coming back into the side and leading the line and rewarding you almost immediately.
Yeah, Chrissy is, he's been really unfortunate. He's found himself out of the team. He was injured at the start of the season, just hasn't really been able to get in there, not through any fault of his own. He's not that he's not been performing, he's been knocking on the door, and it was, this is what you want when you give players an opportunity to come in. They make the performance like he did today, and that's all he can do, is keep performing like he is, and then take it from there. But delight for him, excellent performance and an excellent goal.
The second and third goals almost carbon copy of each other, playing the ball out wide and working it in. It almost looked like it was something straight off the training ground. Yeah,
we put an awful lot of emphasis into all our games and preparation. Ultimately, it comes down to ability, running power. Ricketts on the right obviously scored one, but set one up as well. He's a phenomenal athlete, some pace and power. So he's a real handful. But as a front three worked really hard, but the seven behind him were excellent as well.
Talking about Ricketts, a third goal, third senior goal for a third goal of the season, and another back heel. But I know it looks great, but it almost proves the confidence that he's playing with at the moment.
I think what it shows is that however the ball comes from in the box, I'm sure we'd rather just side foot it in than back heel or flick as such. But he has the ability to do it. Not all players can. So it's got him an extra couple of goals because he's been able to do it. And the one today, he actually put that much power on it. I thought he'd side-footed it, but it still was a flick or a back heel sort of thing. But a great run, great ball, and a great finisher.
Going into half-time, it's interesting. It's not the sort of situation you'd normally find yourself in. What did you have to say to the players at half-time to maybe maintain that level, or do you perhaps focus on shutting the back door?
No, you've got to trust yourself and believe in the processes. There's a process behind why we were so good first half, and it was just trying to replicate that second half. It's never easy. You're 4-0 up subconsciously, as much as you keep telling yourself that go again, first 10 minutes, etc. They're all cliches what get thrown at players, and players think about themselves. But it's hard to come out and replicate that, especially when Ebbsfleet are always going to come out. Listen, they're a good side. Watching their previous games, they're a good side. They move the ball really well with some really dynamic players in their team. And they were going to come at us. They were going to come at us, and like they did, I was disappointed with the goal. But then once the game gone on, and I think that probably shocked us a little bit, the longer the game went on, we actually gained some composure again and started moving the ball around as well as what we did in the first half.
Last season, there was some comments that Wrexham weren't scoring enough goals, they weren't seeing games out, they weren't winning games. Especially today in that first half, does that maybe put to bed a few of your critics and that Wrexham side's critics?
I really couldn't worry about critics from last year. It doesn't worry me. All I worry about is this team, the games we're playing and the games we're going to be playing.
I say I go no clean sheet today. So that's perhaps disappointing that you did concede that goal. First 3 minutes of the second half as well. Is there an element that creeps into, you think, maybe a little bit of complacency where we sort of had to get our backs up again and maintain that, although that 4-0 lead?
Not so much complacency. I just think we didn't come out of the second half quite with the speed and intensity of what we did the first half, and it took us a little while really to regain some composure from that. But once we did, like I said, we moved the ball again brilliantly and saw the game out very, very comfortably in the end, and had the odd chance to score more. You saw in passages today that how we've moved the ball really quickly through from one side to the other, 1 and 2 touch football, and really caused Ebbsfleet an awful lot of problems.
That's I guess a good way of continuing winning form, and especially with what is a tough end to September as well.
Yeah, some hard games coming up, and this was the first one. Now we go back to back on 4G, which is obviously different. So again, we'll prepare this week and get ready to go to Sutton and Harrogate, but obviously all focus is now on Sutton. Can we maintain that level of performance? Can we maintain this start? At some point it's not going to happen, but we have to keep preparing and doing everything we can to give us every chance of going to Sutton and getting another result.